How to become arrogant, bold, certain, and dangerous. Absolutely one of my favorite topics. And this video will be life changing for many of you listening, as this journey and this goal to become these four things was life changing for me. You will never achieve your full potential, and you will never make the positive impact you could have on your loved ones, on the world, unless you decide right now to become arrogant, bold, certain, and dangerous. Let me give you my definition of each one of those four concepts. I will give you some key mindsets to achieve this level, this state of being of arrogant, bold, certain, and dangerous. And then I'll give you some work that you can do on your own, as well as some book and documentary recommendations. So there will be a ton of value in this episode. My definition of arrogant: the extreme self belief required to achieve great things and fulfill your potential. My definition of bold: decisive, courageous, positive actions. My definition of certain: speaking with the strength and conviction required to create positive change. My definition of dangerous: the state of being required to deter others from trying to do you harm. Let me give you some key mindsets, some mantras. I call these power tools. These mindsets are mantras that will allow you to achieve the state of being that you wish to achieve. Power tool number one for arrogance: be your own best friend. You could also think of this as be your own positive coach. And I want you to understand that believe in yourself or no one else will. Power tool number two: you have to understand every high achiever has extremely high self belief, without exception. Mindset number three: never subordinate and don't put people on pedestals. Never subordinate and don't put people on pedestals. That doesn't mean that you look down on others. My grandmother, Margaret Madden, she taught us all one of my favorite life mantras, my power tools: you're not better than anyone else, but no one else is better than you either. That means don't look up, don't put people on pedestals, don't subordinate, and also don't look down at others. Here's a quote from Dr. Benjamin Hardy, top performance psychologist. He says, your view of your own future is the greatest determinant of who you are. Here's some key mindsets to develop that bold mentality that leads to bold actions. Number one, fearlessly ask for what you need in life. I want you to fearlessly ask for what you need in life. Number two, assume permission. I learned this from two of my mentors, Dr. Alan Weiss and Dr. Marshall Goldsmith, and they tell us that too many people wait for permission in life to do the things they want to do, to be who they want to be. They're waiting for permission, and this includes adults. Even in the later years of their life, they're still waiting for someone to give them permission. Okay, you need to assume permission. As long as you're not breaking laws and hurting others, you need to assume permission to go out and do what you need to do and be who you need to be who you want to be. Power tool number three, I need you to ask yourself, why not me? Why not me? I'm just as good as they are. Why not me? Why can't I raise my hand? Why can't I go out and do the things I want to do? Why not me? Here's a quote from Steve Chandler, one of my favorite authors. It wears you out to do what others want you to do. It totally fatigues you to try to anticipate what would please and pacify people all around you. That wears the body down. Being bold and focused is what creates energy, the fearless decision to do exactly what you want to do. Let's talk about some mindsets behind certainty. Okay. Number one, speak strong or no one will listen to you. Number two, do your push ups, which means prepare. Be prepared so you have the confidence to speak with certainty. And number three is to simplify. If you want to be able to speak with certainty, you need to simplify your thoughts. You need to get organized before you speak, even if it's just a pause for 10 seconds when someone asks you a question, or if you want to make a statement, just pause and simplify down. That could be before a meeting or a one on one conversation. Someone take a few minutes, even a minute, to just write down, organize your thoughts, simplify, and narrow it down to the one thing that you need to say. Okay. Here's a quote from General Jim Mattis, legendary United States Marine General, Mad Dog Mattis. And he said, Marines believe that attitude is a weapons system. Marines believe that attitudes is a weapons system. And lastly, dangerous. Here's some power tools, some mantras, some key mindsets to become more dangerous. Number one, it's very simple. No. I want you to practice the power of no, saying no. Number two, I can handle it. Learned that from Dr. Susan Jeffers, wrote a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And she says, the root of all fear is I can't handle it. And that to me, the root of all self-confidence is I can handle it. I can handle it no matter what. And then number three, let's go back again to never subordinate. Okay. Never be anyone's victim. Never a victim. Okay. Is a great mantra, a great power tool in terms of never subordinating, never a victim, always a victor. Here's a quote from Tim Ferriss, author of one of my favorite books, Tools of Titans. A person's success in life can be visually measured by the number of uncomfortable conversations he or she is willing to have. And here's a quote from Ryan Hall, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu black belt, UFC fighter. The ability to do violence, for all the good and the bad of that, is one of the fundamental, most important things to be able to do in life. Because if you can't cause destruction, if you can't cause pain, you will forever be subject to those who can. And that's why we need to become more dangerous. Okay, and this is my interpretation of what Ryan's saying, and I believe it wholeheartedly. We need to be capable of cruelty. We need to be capable of inflicting harm on others, whether it's asserting ourselves verbally or physically asserting ourselves if they are trying to harm us, if they mean to do us harm. Okay, let's talk about the work. Okay, the work we can do to become more arrogant, more bold, more certain, and more dangerous. Number one, books and coaches. I want you to read and study mental performance books on self-confidence, on mental performance, sports psychology. I want you to learn how to increase your confidence, how to become more arrogant. Okay, that's number one. Study the best of the best materials, the best experts in the world. People like Dr. Jason Selk, I believe he's the number one expert in the world on this. People like Dr. Eric Potterat, people like Dr. Stan Beecham. There's many others out there. Jack Canfield, he's got some great things on confidence, but study them. Right? Learn from them. Best of the best books only. Number two, get a coach. Get a mental performance coach. Work with a performance psychologist. Work with a high performance coach to help you organize and optimize your thinking, right? To help you remove limiting beliefs that you have and replace them with powerful thoughts. Okay. Here's a second tool. Buy the book Relentless Solution Focus by Jason Selk, Dr. Jason Selk. Buy it now and read it. It will change your life. And it's got two incredible tools in it. One is called the success log. The second is the mental workout. I do these daily. These are two tremendous tools to help you increase your arrogance. And number three, do everything you can to remove limiting beliefs. Identify those limiting beliefs that don't serve you. Okay, thoughts that hold you back. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. Anything that holds you back, a belief that limits you, that doesn't serve you, and work very hard to eliminate those. Here's some things you can do to become more bold. Okay, do hard things daily. What do I mean by that? I call this making the heroic choice. Okay, practice the power of no. Say no to people and solicitations of your time and attention that don't get you closer to your most important goals and priorities. Learn to say no. Assert yourself when you need to. Do hard things. Do difficult exercise. Okay, challenge yourself physically. Fearlessly ask for what you need. These are all hard things to challenge yourself to be, to strengthen yourself, your boldness. Okay, assume permission. That's a heroic choice. Certainty. What can we do to increase our certainty? Number one, study those who speak with certainty. Some great examples of this are United States presidents. They speak with great certainty and conviction. Uh, Actors. So there's some great actors out there, some great men and women who speak with incredible certainty in their roles. So study roles, the superhero movies, the action movies. Okay. All these great actors and actresses that speak with certainty in film. Musicians and hip hop stars in particular speak with great certainty in their music. Fighters like Muhammad Ali or Conor McGregor speak with incredible certainty. So study those who speak with certainty. Number two, practice speaking with certainty in all aspects of your life, personally and professionally, and have someone help you identify a trusted advisor when you're not speaking with certainty. So practice daily and have someone give you feedback on when you're not. Another way is to act as if. Get a role model, get an alter ego, and act as if they would. Act like the most confident person you know. Could be a person you know personally, or someone that a movie character, or a politician, or a professional fighter or athlete. Act as if. Act like the most confident person you know. Again, go back to removing limiting beliefs as well. That's another thing we can do to act and speak with more certainty. Remove those limiting beliefs. Remove weak language from your vocabulary. Weak language is I'll try, or I'll kind of, maybe, can we do this? Okay, that these are all weak words, weak language. No, I don't try, I do. That's how you want to think about these things. Once again, don't put people on a pedestal. And lastly, to speak with more certainty, put the repetitions in to prepare when you need to speak. Okay, if you're having a conversation or giving a presentation in a meeting, put the repetitions in so you can speak with certainty. Now, lastly, let's talk about the work we can do to become more dangerous. Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, mixed martial arts, this type of training is huge. Self defense training. I wish there was more good self defense training out there. Number one, it should look like mixed martial arts. It should look 80% the same as mixed martial arts. If your self defense training doesn't look like that, it doesn't work. Okay. 80% of it should be mixed martial arts based. The last 20% should be verbally asserting yourself, de escalating situations, avoiding violence, dealing with weapons, and striking vital targets that aren't legal to strike in the UFC. So get some good mixed martial arts training, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, self defense training. Craig Douglas is an excellent instructor. Okay. He's got some good things out there on YouTube, as well as instructor Mulder from Urban Combatives Netherlands. Great YouTube channel, great Instagram channel. Those are some great resources. Okay. Work on your posture as well. Do everything you can to work on your posture through exercise, through corrective exercise, through resistance training and stretching. Work on your posture. Practice good posture every day. Here's another tip: smile less. If people aren't respecting you and taking you seriously enough, you need to smile less. I didn't say don't smile at all, but I said smile less if you're not being respected as much as you could be. And lastly, in terms of being more dangerous, assert yourself more. Okay, assert yourself more in life. Now, let me give you some resources here in terms of books. Become More Arrogant, Relentless Solution Focus, and Executive Toughness by Dr. Jason Selk. No BS Time Management by Dan Kennedy. Great book, great books on boldness. The 50th Law by Robert Greene. The 7 Laws of Power by Dr. Jeffrey Pfeffer, as well as Fearless by Steve Chandler. Great books on certainty. The Charisma Myth by Olivia Fox Cabane, as well as Winning by Tim Grover. And in terms of being more dangerous, A Fighter's Mind by Sam Sheridan, and The New Rules of Lifting Supercharged by Alan Cosgrove. Here's a few documentaries on that will help you identify these traits and see these traits. Becoming More Arrogant, Notorious. It's a documentary about Conor McGregor. The Last Dance is a great documentary on boldness. Okay, and that this one really checks arrogance as well as certainty. Okay, The Last Dance, the Chicago Bulls documentary. And a great documentary on certainty is I Am Not Your Guru about Tony Robbins. Just pay attention to how he speaks with certainty all the time. And then lastly, a great documentary on becoming more dangerous is Fightville, the documentary about Dustin Poirier. So my challenge to you is identify, some of these, just one one book that you want to read, one documentary that you want to watch, and one action step you want to take. Identify which one do you need to improve the most: arrogance, boldness, certainty, or becoming more dangerous. And laser focus on that one for the next 30, 60, 90 days and continue to add these to your toolbox. If you put the work in for 6 months to a year, I guarantee you'll be a whole different human being. And I wish you an elevated life of success, happiness, and positive impact.